Hi everyone, my name is Katie. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I don't think I've been live in like forever now, but I wanted to come on during lovely Preptober and get our characters done today. And then next weekend, I would like to do outlining using Trello so I can finally show y'all my Trello board and how I outline with mostly the method that I have in there is Save the Cat, and then I add Romancing the Beat for my storyline. But I would love to know what you are creating for Nano, what your age and genre are. Mine is going to be a young adult contemporary with some romance, like that's my brand. So I will be creating that, and my main character's name is Harper. And then I have her love interest, kind of. She's going to try not to like him. And then their best friends are like, kind of like the main characters, and it's the summer before senior year of high school, and just working at her job and just different things like that. I've pretty much got like a solid idea down and most of it planned out, but there are some like things that I usually, figure out while I'm drafting. And then there are some things I want to do in this exercise with you guys. So basically, I wanted to show y'all the Story Genius writing exercise. So this is what it looks like, and there's tabs all at the bottom. And if you look at my banner at the bottom of this screen, you can see that you just go to my members page at katieknightley.com, download writing resources, and you're going to see a ton of stuff. And I mean a ton. Let me show y'all that real fast. So right now, this is my resources and templates, and it's Save the Cat, Romancing the Beat. If you're writing romance in your story, I love it. These are going to be the beat sheets. Then you're going to get all my Story Genius notes and scene cards, which we're going to go over in this chat as well. And then the Story Genius exercise right here is the one that I'll be using, and that's the Excel sheet. And then if y'all need anything else, I basically read craft books and then pop up my notes in here. I even have this How to Win NaNoWriMo. It's my tips and tricks. It's very short, like a page and a half or so, of how to really get 50,000 words in a month. I always win Nano and Camp Nano. I probably need to go update that, but I think it's like pretty like bare bones, like the least that you need to like get 50K. So and we have a few other things like this critique partner edits checklist might be helpful too once you're done with your story and want to check yourself for make sure that you have everything in there, no plot holes, all that jazz. So if y'all want to grab this exercises right here, and then we'll just pop back. I'll just show y'all this real fast. The scene cards that I have is from Story Genius as well. So it goes, y'all can basically print this out and then spread it on the floor or however, if you have a desk large enough. You put your act and your scene, the main thing that's happening, and keep track of any subplots that are happening with your side characters, any of the like, I feel like the main plot's going to be like their lie, their want, their need, all that. But then we have the cause and effect for the plot and cause and effect for the story. And all of that is way more outlined in Story Genius. So my question to you now also is, have y'all read Story Genius before? And did you like it? It was a lot of extra stuff for me, but I did enjoy going and breaking down your character. I hadn't really done that before, so that was really helpful for me. Let's see. Okay, Brayden, you might do Nano, but you're not sure. You should just give it a go for fun and see how it goes. I usually have some bare bones like outlined and just kind of roll with it. But let's do my Excel sheets. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up. I think, yeah, it's all in the browser. So I'm going to leave that up and pull up my own copy, and we will get going on this. So let's see. So let's prep. I'm going to leave how to get there again. Okay, so kind of what it breaks down right now is right about the instant you got your idea for your novel. I'm kind of going to read through these and then change to the next sheet because that's when you really get into your characters. So write about why you care about the story. Mine is some backstory, some stuff that I went through. I love channeling some parts of my past into my story. And then what point will your story make? And then your what if. So, sorry, I was reading off mine and not this one. Your what if your story was phrased in the form of a few sentences beginning with the phrase what if, and then you that's kind of like your pitch almost, right? So sorry, this is the first page. And then we'll go to sheet 2. So this is kind of before your protagonist before. And if y'all are new to story structure, basically you don't want to start at the beginning. You want to kind of start in the middle of their life where something is about to happen to them, but they also have their baggage in their past from, whatever incidents that framed their want and their misbelief, their lie, and their ghost. So what you're seeing right now is what we're going to get into. So let's go. Let's just start writing on this one about your character and say, who is this person on the inside? Who are they? I guess we can start with the first one. Who are they before the novel begins? I'm going to put myself on mute. We're going to go through each of these sheets up until the scene cards, and then I'm just going to not do those. But we're going to give just a few minutes to each thing, and then we'll move on to the next sheet, okay? All right, let's see. Hi, Alexis. Thanks for joining us. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free, if you haven't gotten the Excel sheet, you can also just write in a Word doc or whatever and reference it later. But happy to have you here. Let me know in the comments what you're writing, if you're writing for Nano or if you're just prepping for fun or just saying hi. Okay, I'm going to mute and give 3, maybe 4 minutes on the clock, and we'll go from there. Okay, hopefully I got to jot something down about where they're at in their life specifically. I'm hoping I can just put summer before senior year. In their life, they're just in pain, okay? What do they believe and what do they want? That's going to be your driving factors for like every scene, every time, like especially if you're in like first POV, it's going to be why they make their decisions and how. It's going to be how they look at what people say and their actions. Like it's seriously going to drive everything. I love this book for really digging into your character. Okay, so the next chapter talks about their why. Let's see what that one was. The who. Okay, their why. So write a paragraph or, a couple sentences about what your character wants at the beginning of the story. And then you're going to say why they want that and what getting it will mean to them. So even if she's wrong about, or he is wrong about this, what do they think getting it will mean? And then define your protagonist's misbelief. So write down their want and the fear they have that's going to keep them from achieving it. So you can also consider their misbelief, like what do they think the very worst thing could happen would be? Like why are they not going to go for it? And let's do that. Oh, sorry. Hi, Hannah. Thanks for joining. Woo-hoo. Alexis, young adult and government conspiracy. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. I don't think I could write government conspiracy, especially right now. Oh my gosh, the U.S. is cray cray. But yeah, I'm so glad y'all could join us, Hannah, when you can. Just like drop your project below if you're going to be working on Nano. And if y'all have read Story Genius or not, I'd love to know that too. Okay, so I feel like these questions kind of all go into each other. I feel like the third one's just like, right, the 1 and 2 together. Yeah, so Hannah, real fast, I will do a screen share of my page real fast. So in my members page, you'll just click the download writing resources. And then in here are different, if you want to try Save the Cat, Romancing the Beat, Story Genius scene cards. I'll show those in a little bit. And I've actually seen people use those I didn't get, like, it's in this book, but I just was like, that's really detailed for me, and I'm more of a pantser than that. So this story, Genius's Exercises, is what this Excel sheet is right now. And then for the book itself, I have notes. It's just kind of like a rundown, so you can see if it's something you'd be interested in. But it was my first like character book, so it really helped me delve into that for my characters. Okay, so nope, wrong one again. It's confusing having 1,000 tabs up. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the worldview. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so their worldview when your story starts is the origin scene, maybe where they required their misbelief. So this worldview part is gonna like be before your book starts. It's gonna be like how they got where they're at. And so this could be, you could do some backstory later, some flashbacks later, or just like have her think it in their brain as you know the story progresses. So we got how they acquired their misbelief, what happened to them. Sketch out your hero or heroine went into this origin scene believing. So my girl went in believing that this guy like loved her, and she acquired her misbelief because he didn't and he hurt her. So before her misbelief, what does she believe? You know, so she's got her dad and brother also harping on her about how guys are blah. So before she went into her misbelief, like she believed that maybe they're wrong and she'd find the one. So then write out your fully fledged scene describing when your protagonist's misbelief took root in her brain. So I'm just going to be planning out that scene with her ex-boyfriend. So if that gives y'all like an example idea. I don't know if that's helpful or not. So, okay. You're welcome, Hannah. All right, let's go do that for a few minutes. Okay, so that was kind of fun. Have y'all ever like gone? This is exactly how my drafts go because I will outline something and when I draft, it's completely different. And so, how I even just said that her misbelief took place during their breakup, I just wrote they didn't even break up. Like, he just ghosted her and comes back on Monday after like their weekend and shows up with a different girl on his arm. And she's too humiliated and embarrassed to even like go confront him. And so I think she's gonna find like some tally in like the bathroom or like something, some bet, will get spread. But yeah, so I don't have them breaking up now. I have them being ghosted and all that greatness. So I love when like you just start writing and it's just something else. I think that'll be fun too. It'll totally add to everything. So okay, what's next? P.S. How is this going for y'all? Are y'all enjoying these exercises? I hope it's helpful. I think it's especially helpful if you don't know your character yet and you're like, I don't know what their want or their need is, or their lie or how they got it. But I thought this was great because usually when I was drafting before, I would figure out their past and why, like in draft 2. Like I would just write draft 1 and be like, okay, let's see why they're that way. Okay, what's next? Identify 3 turning point scenes. You don't have to do 3. Identify 3 turning point scenes where their belief was further cemented in their brain. So there's going to be like some other trigger points of like just deepening their misbelief. And then write 3 scenes fully fleshed out. We don't have to do that either. These won't be in your novel. So this is what I was saying before. They won't be in your novel, but they're going to be her or their why that she like looks back on later. Sorry, I keep saying she because my character is a she, but so they're gonna look back at this in their memory, especially like when stuff happens that triggers it later on. So we're gonna do 3 scenes. Maybe just write down like 3 ideas of scenes for what cemented it further. And I'm not gonna fully flesh mine out. I think I'm just gonna write some bullet points. So do whatever's helpful for you. Okay. I don't know if that was enough time or not. I did not get a 3rd thing. I think I'll figure it out. I like how, so Hannah, you were saying possibly fast drafting. Like, I really want to try that and just like get the story down and then like add all this other stuff later. Because usually I end up with full rewrites and it's so like annoying, but at the same time good. I think that's just my process. So like I know I'll figure all this out eventually. Okay, so the win. So feel free to write about your plot. Make a list from that of all the ideas you have about the problems your character will run into related to the main story, the main problem of the story. And then you're going to run this list against potential problems. So there's a test. Can the problem sustain the entire novel from the first page to the last? This is like deep diving, you guys. So like, no worries if you're not here yet, because I don't know if I'm here yet. Can the problem build? Is there, oh, this is like, I almost feel like I could subplot these things. Is there a real world specific impending consequence that's escalating that this escalating problem will give your protag no choice but to face? Okay, so I think this is setting, would that be setting up their like inciting incident? Is there a clear-cut deadline, a ticking clock, counting down that consequence? This is something that I learned from my mentors. I wish I knew ahead of time. Having like that ticking clock or like a deadline in your story is so helpful for like framing your reader into like, okay, I have 6 weeks worth of, story in this book, or this all happens in one night. Like I think it's a really good like grounding tool for your readers. Okay, so then test 2. Is the problem capable of forcing your protag to make the inner change that your novel is actually about? I actually just ended up reading K.M. Whalen's Creating Character Arcs. So if y'all haven't read that, it goes through a lot of like the inner change, like their lie they believe, how they overcome it and see the truth, and like how they battle it the entire story, which I guess I do, because they have to waffle with their bad guys, which could be like their internal just thoughts. But sub questions: will the problem's impending consequence force the protagonist to struggle with their misbelief? It's like, yes. Regardless of whether or not the protag achieves their goal, will the approaching consequence cost her something big, emotionally speaking? My brain just frames all this in like the Save the Cat beat sheet. So like, is it going to cost her something and her all is lost and Dark Night of the Soul, or when the climax hits? Like, tweak as needed until you have one overarching plot problem that leaps over every hurdle and meets both tests. Oh, I feel like make a list. Okay. Sketch the ticks that will lead you to your opening scene. Your goal is to find the tick that catapults your protag into unavoidable action. This will be your opening scene. So a lot of people, they like debate about where the inciting incident goes in your first act. And this one's kind of like that first page you want. You want to have tension already on that page. You want to have a problem already on that page that's going to get readers invested. And so they don't call that the inciting incident. I forgot what they call it now, but it's just like a problem, like something smaller that's going to like push them to then need the inciting incident. Basically, it's going to lead to that. So find the tick that catapults your protag into unavoidable action. It's gonna take some thought. Okay. Give a few minutes. This one's like really deep dive, so I don't know how, if y'all want to go that deep or not. I'm just going to jot down a few ideas real fast. So I guess in reading, I should have reread all this before I started this live, but so I guess this is just figuring out where your opening scene is and why. And because that problem that needs to go through the whole book is what's going to start your opening scene. So in mine, I'm one of those people, I'm sorry, I had this idea in my head for Nano, and like I had to jot down the first, it's not even the first scene, it's just like the first page and a half just to get it out of my brain. And I think it's the scene that'll stick, but it's her and then her new coworker, and he's a problem. And they like, because she has a rule, she doesn't date coworkers, she doesn't date people that she goes to school with because of like her past hurt. She doesn't want to see any exes like ever. And so her problem will be him because they're going to enter in a fake relationship, which I've been wanting to do forever. I'm so excited about a fake relationship. And, you know, of course, mine's romance, contemporary romance, so they're going to fall for each other. But Homeboy is going to keep that wall up more than she is because they went into it knowing like we are going to like break up. So I think that's what's going to catapult them. They're not going to engage in that though yet because that's more their like inciting incident is agreeing to that fake relationship. So my opening, I believe, is more just like them meeting and then the rumors about her and like some other like subplot setup that I'm doing. I'm hoping that's like fun. I'm trying to think of my other books now. If that is how they go. It's always like the problem. The problem with hashtag gold in the beginning, they had like soccer tryouts. So that was going to be the whole like arch of the story. And then Project Emma is a play, and so they were having their cast list announced. So like all those things, like I guess I have like an MO I follow, but let's see. Okay, so now we're on to the opening. Create a scene card for your opening scene and write out your opening scene using the scene card. So the scene card is on my website as well. I will pop up that. I mean, it's the same kind of place, but so this is what my scene card looks like. We have, sorry, I'll get rid of this. The plot and the story. The story is more what's happening to your character. This goes into like, Story Genius is cool in that it's like the story is your character is the story. So that's that little bit. So it's the plot of what's actually happening and then the story of why it matters to your character and what they realize from that. And then the how so is kind of like the reaction leads you to the next plot, the next scene. So I just basically said my opening, but I don't know if y'all figured yours out yet, so I'll let y'all do that real fast. Here's the scene card, and I'll give y'all a few minutes to just think about what your opening is, something that's going to be like impactful. I just finished, like I said, reading that Creating Character Arcs by Kate and Whalen, and it talks about you needing your main character. You're going to need to give like a little bit of personality, a little bit of a problem, especially on that first page, to get your agent reading or your readers reading. And mine always, like I always introduce my meet cute or B character, my B story, like really early, like the first page. But let's see. I'm trying to think what else she said to put in your opening. But like basically you're like packing everything in there. So, okay. Good luck, guys. If y'all are catching the replay by any chance, just feel free to like pause as you go. Okay, so we are moving on to sheet 8. So the ending. This is a lot of times people know their like opening, like their beginning, their inciting incident, the midpoint, the climax, and your ending. That's usually what I go into a book knowing. So for the ending, the aha moment, which is when it clicks for them, basically. You say at the end, will your protagonist achieve their external goal? And what will change for your protag internally? What will happen externally in this scene that forces your protag to confront and hopefully overcome their misbelief? And then create a scene card, which we just looked at, and then write out that scene on your scene card if you want. But I have like a vague idea. So, okay, let's do this one. I'm just gonna track y'all through real fast. So the next one's blueprinting your novel, which is just like your key characters. We'll take time just writing out some characters. Rules of your world, especially if you're doing like a magic system or fantasy, idea list, random scenes. They make a pile, like a folder of random scenes, scene cards in development, and then scenes that you've filled out your whole card for. I skipped a lot of this like when I went through it and did one of my older projects. So let's just go through this real fast and do the ending, and then we'll click forward to some ideas, some subplot ideas, and then wrap this up soon. So, okay, here we go. Okay, and then let's go into just if y'all know any side characters, or if you just want to put like best friend, mentor, whatever, just to make a list of characters, and then maybe some ideas list for scenes. I don't really have scenes. I kind of have like my subplots and what needs to happen for them, but I pants a lot of stuff. So then setting up the plot. I'm actually going to be doing a plot story structure type thing next weekend using Trello. I have everything outlined in there for Act 1, 2, 3, and a breakdown of like beats and stuff. And y'all are more than welcome to like copy that Trello once I have it up. But so setting up the plot in Story Genius is write your novel overview based on everything you've written so far. So this is a more detailed version of your what if. List out every potential plot point that jumps out at you. Go through your 3 turning point scenes. Okay, so those are the 3 we did in the beginning. And then answer this question. What external obstacles have you already planted in the past that will keep your protag from her current goal or help her attain it. So like everything in her past or his past, you're kind of going to set up for what's happening in the story. I love this like streamline of a story. I've learned so much lately. Just to keep everything, like everything is important. Everything you put in your story is important. It always comes back, whether from like a flashback to now or whatever, how something goes down. I think it's really cool how stories do that. Like some of them do it really, really well. And then it's basically taking you through your scene steps. So yeah, I think your idea list, I think that'll be a next time thing. I think we'll plot that out in Trello. So from here, you can just do your key characters. And then even if they're minor, if they have a big enough impact on your story, like Harper's best friend, her love interest, and his best friend, I'm going to be doing their background. I'm going to be doing a want and a need and a lie for all of them as well. And so it's really going to help shape the story. I have it planned that like Harper and the main guy's Lincoln, and then their two best friends are actually going to get together too. But I'm making it so that it's a contrast where they don't have any issues getting into a relationship or getting their heart broken or whatever. And these two are like, nope, not for me. Like, I don't want to do that. And I'm going to have like a really good contrast for when they go on like double dates and different things like that. And so just think of your characters and see how they're pivotal to your main character. Usually you want them like in opposition just to show like how far off your character is in their lie and their want and why they need something that maybe this other character has or believes. And so I just, think about your characters. I had a reader for my project in my book that said two characters, like my main character relied on them the same way. And I was like, okay, like I probably shouldn't have that. So I need to go change on like personalities and, you know, who's more there for her best friend wife versus what she gets out of her love interest. So I've been tweaking that in my revision right now. But yeah, so I hope that y'all will join me next weekend for going through your actual outline and all the acts in your scenes. I'm going to break it down by the beat sheet. If y'all don't use that, you can just tweak it how the 3-act structure goes or by chapter even. That's usually how I break it down too. So whatever works for you guys, I hope to see y'all next weekend, and I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Feel free to leave any comments down below. And again, go check out those resources in my members library. I hope that they're helpful. All right, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.